sorry, one, for a second I thought this was a new song. Two, hey Virgil, hope you're doing well tonight. Have you been? So the time's finally come. Today we unravel everything. I'll be counting on your support more than ever, Mrs. Sato. Mrs. Sato? No, hold on. She's been through a lot. Like, she just learned she's not an only child. Ow! Oh no, what's the matter, Mr. Naruto? I love the guards aren't doing it everything. A power washing simulator? Nothing. I was just saying that I'll be relying on your support today, but, I'm so sorry. Of course, I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but I shan't let you down. Can you at least fix my spine? Would you mind helping me to my feet? Yeah, I've heard good things about the power washing game. Like, something about a story, but I don't know much about that. And I don't know, maybe I'm kind of I'm looking about trying out the game myself. Oh dear, I'm really sorry. Sato-san isn't her usual self at all, you think? That's hardly surprising, I suppose. She just found out that her father is the partner of a world-class detective. Not to mention... Good morning, sir. Oh! Lord Van Zeeks? Who lives in a pineapple under the sea, and it needs cleaning! Power washing. I didn't know there was a SpongeBob DLC. Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. Did I hear that correctly? What? No, nothing. Just, I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began. Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruto. Good point. The Reaper. I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my tacit acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all this. But you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Zeeks. It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, right? To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. Oh yeah, I remember that. That having been slain by that evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod. To wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not. Dint? I've never heard that phrase. Anyway, we've heard that story. When I lost him, I felt as though I'd lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Maybe? You never know. Or you could, or maybe a little soul-searching. Even if I knew it was just an illusion. Just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public. He was obviously extremely important to you. Lord Clint Van Zeeks. Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. I never thought I'd say this. But I can see it in your eyes. That burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny any longer. You are hot! You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Now tell me. Why do I detect a scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh. You both are right, very true. Iris, when'd you get here? I brought you one of my special blends. Harley loves it. He says it helps him clear his head. I thank you. Oh! That's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris. She found out too about the whole Sherlock Sholmes' partner. Ow. Sort of subdued, I suppose. I am not. What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Seid's lab. Alright then. Good luck to you both. I'll shoot you if you lose. Oh, I didn't think I was being serious. I have to make a move now. You're not staying? I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings. Well, I'd like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready. Get ready? For what? Oh, yes. Oh, that's one of her bunnies, like, on her backpack. Would you take this? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is that one of the little felt dolls from your knapsack? Yes, it's a lucky charm. A little early I made once. You did a really good job making it. Looks more like a Harley to me. I should really try my hand at making dolls at some point. Like, I'm not sure if I can do felt, but I don't know, I'm curious. If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, throw this at the judge! And just pull this little head of his ears as hard as you possibly can. Wouldn't that rip? Pull his ears. That's right. It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it. You think what we'll need is luck? So I want to see what she... Does it matter which ear? What a charming little rabbity version of Mr. Sholmes. Do you suppose this is how Iris sees him? Are you alright, Mr. Naruto? Your eyes are veritably boring into that poor doll's ears. Pull it! Sorry, I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now? I'm sure we'll find out when the time is right. Ow! To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn stoic patience. But I want to know! Me too! Like, what does it do? Is it like if I pull it and there's a secret weapon? I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom. And it seems very different to normal. Yes, it would seem that a certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. What does that mean? Speaking of pull out all the stops, may I pull on that rabbit's ears? What about Mr. Sholmes, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night and he hadn't come home by the time I left this morning. Uh-oh. Is he dead? I see. Was Professor Mikotoba out all night too? Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night. They? Father and Judge Shikoku, I mean. Judge Shikoku too? Judge Hellman? That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday. Good luck then, Runo. Good luck, Susie. Thanks, Iris. And you, Mr. Reaper. I hope it goes well. Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing. Oh, I'm so glad. I wonder what kind of tea it was. We must go inside now. Lord Vanceeks has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend Kazuma Asogi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Why did I say years? Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. How different is the courtroom? Wait, where's the judge? Uh-oh. Don't tell me Jikoku's going there. It feels more oppressive here than it did yesterday. Their cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides. Mr. Naruto, look! Ah! Not what I was expecting. But I guess this does make this the final battle. Lord Strongheart? Cosmo must have known beforehand. The realm of I can't do. I want to. I know I usually try to do Strongheart's voice is like a little deeper and a little more grandiose, but I miss doing the judge voice, so I'll just do the judge one for him. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. He's doing his best judge impression. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal system. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. Royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial. Oh! Oh. That's a new staff. Cosmo definitely did. Like, it's so weird seeing like someone in the judge's seat stand up, and I wonder why he swapped out his usual cane with a unicorn. One over which I, Male Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. Wait. Do you have a remote control? The 6 jurors' flames just... As with the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. Are you a firebender, sir? In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart. In other words, everyone's biased. On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Vanceeks. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother Low blow, man! Whoa! That's not the gavel! Also, like, when that scratched the thing, like, I feel like the horn would break off. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. For the trial of Barak von Zeeks, who officially stands accused of murder. This is a very, I guess, intimidating camera angle. 2, what if he held his arms out like that and all of a sudden his sleeves caught fire? Counsel for prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. What if Strongheart has the actual judge, like, tied up and gagged behind the bench? Yes, these proceedings brought to light a shocking, disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim expected to play his Gregson that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice. Mr. Daily Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. I almost said alias. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work, when in fact, he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, he has been suffering from amnesia regarding his memory. Oh, I guess he does look pretty London-y. So how old is he? 53. He looks really young. For Carswell she was engaged as a chief warder at Barclay Prison, he abetted the convict's escape. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Signers. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson while investigating the Red-Headed League. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch has not been found. Sorry, just holy crap. I think I've played every single game in the Ace Attorney series, and never once has, I'm assuming he's a villain, but never once has the villain been the judge. It's always been the prosecutor, or I guess, like, a witness that you have to find guilt who is actually the murderer. But in this, it feels like no matter, like, if the villain is the judge, it feels like no matter what you do, you'll always get a guilty verdict, even if you have all the evidence out there. So it's like, how do you take this guy down? She's already been discovering the victim's watch has not been wound. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Go ahead, prosecutor Shaggy. I met once again with the coroner yesterday just to discuss the issue. She confirmed that the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on the 31st of October, Halloween, the day before his body was discovered. My favorite holiday! I have here an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. Okay, for once we have the updated autopsy report meme, but in a way it actually helps. But the official opinion of the investigation team was clear yesterday. Too bad, we got new info. The time of death was 5 p.m. on the 1st of November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. He did it! Strongheart did it! It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. No. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, this updated report is deemed to be inaccurate. It would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident. It would, yes. Especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. Gregson and the prosecutor have some information regarding those activities? Okay, I'm pretty sure you're right. Like, the judge can't, the defense can, but at the same time, it's unfortunately the Ace Attorney series. It's known for going way out there. Scotland Yard. Oh wait, wrong person. Scotland Yard put enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So the prosecution calls its first witness now. Hey! Also, I just realized, I really hope Strongheart only knows English, because since Kazuma and Naruhodo are bilingual, maybe if things go weird, they can start yelling in Japanese at each other across the courtroom, and Strongheart could go, "What the heck? Like, what the crap are you saying?" State your name and occupation. Inspector Lestrade reporting. Representative of Scotland Yard. A self-conferred rank, but never mind. Gina? Again? What's your problem, Otto? What's with that Gina? Again? Look, oh, she's a mind reader. Ah. The boss meant the world to me. He's done more for me than anyone else ever did. Old English probably what the devil? What the devil are you two saying? Inspector Gregson, you mean? Got me out the back slums of the East End and took me under his wing. Told me that life can have purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him. Oh, Gina. Right. All out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not at all. He had his arm twisted by Mr. Sholmes. What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Before that, really quick. Can I... Do I have the updated report? Wait. Indeterminate. Very troubling. That face. Lord Strongheart knew. Liar, liar, pants on fire. So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report. Come on right up, sir. All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a load of secret matins in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled goods dealing that day. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is, there's witnesses what saw the reaper at that place too. Smuggled goods? I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book. Can we have that as evidence? Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines. Goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they're disposed of at a regular black market that takes place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was expecting one of those black markets? It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of investigations being leaked to any involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority, without the yard's knowledge. Is he bigger than the judge, like the usual judge with the beard? Because I'm wondering if, like, I don't know, I'm imagining him sitting in the judge's bench and just thinking, my legs hurt. They're squished against the wooden table. And do we know where these dealings were taking place? In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation. What? Yeah, we haven't heard anything about this. Unless it's either fabricated or everyone just learned about it now. Members of the club had testified to it. Can we bring them in? There's no question. The accused, Back von Zeeks, was present. That would be very significant testimony, then. Oh my, but Lord Van Zeeks has made no mention of this at all. In short, Lord Van Zieks had ample opportunity to murder the victim. I don't like that gavel sound. I want the old one back. I'm just noticing, does he have the exact same scar as Van Zieks? Like, hold up. Like, it's a little faint, but there's a little bit of an X on the bridge of his nose. And it's a little more prominent on Van Zieks, but it's there. I want the old gavel back.
Hold it!
So you follow orders, do you, Gina? Nah, not me. Above all that, see. Should you be admitting to that, especially in a court of law? The boss always had special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips, or go and give Toby his grub. That kind of thing. Is Toby here? I could use some serotonin. So, errands more than orders then. This detective is still an apprentice after all. Yeah, well, this apprentice ain't one to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigations into what happened. I didn't find much at first. Gina, please tell me you brought Toby so we can sick him on the judge.
Hold it!
So you went through Inspector Gregson's things? Yup, as part of the independent Lestrade investigation. I'm sure your superiors would be delighted that you're taking the initiative. So I snuck into his office when no one else was about. Of course, if anyone at the yard had seen me going in there, they'd have turfed me straight out of the street. This is sounding less and less like an investigation, and more like something else. The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook. About that, right? Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and our trusty assistant, Chief Inspector Toby. Bring him in! Bring him in! We found it in one of his desk drawers to add a false bottom. That's impressive. So I died myself where no one else could find me, so I could have a butcher's at what was written in it. Of course, if anyone at the yard found me out, they'd have me turfed straight out on the street. I'm giving it in now, though, ain't I? And if it weren't for me, it would never have been found. Please submit that as evidence.
Hold it!
Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place? Yup. It was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember. As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at the Gentleman's Club. Okay, I might be off, but last I heard, modern day meeting behind Gentleman's Club was very risque, so was it the same thing way back when? Yes, I remember. But I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary. Unless you want to go there, Naruto. Can I go with you? Huh? It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in future. Therefore, the prosecutor has been asked not to reveal the name of these proceedings. I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's right here. All I've got to do is read it out. And I could too. I've got this rating game buttoned up now. Oh yeah, she used to be illiterate. Can't I show you what I can do? Go on, what's the arm? The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. Tell me. This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecutor is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. Nope. The prosecutor has no objection. Eat shit! Kazuma? There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings. However, It's not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Ha ha! Right then, I get to show off me reading skills. Apparently the smuggled goods deal was gonna happen at a gentleman's club called the Grouse.
Hold it!
The Grouse. What sort of club is that? I ain't got the foggiest. Clubs ain't exactly my thing. But I am kinda curious. They're not places where a foreign student like you would be readily admitted. What about you? Yeah! Rito's gets a point. I'll tell you what. Me and Chief Inspector Toby could go in undercover. Could you though? I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find out while I was in there. I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings are going to take place, right? Yeah, it's gotta be. That's what the lower ranking detectives at the yard reckon. Says even a lower ranking detective.
Hold it!
So how had Inspector Gregson come to find out about it in that case? That's the question, ain't it? But I'm just an apprentice, so... And why didn't he inform Scotland Yard? Yeah, that's what I was asking myself. Cause, you know, I'm just an apprentice. When it suits you. Anyway, the point is, something went on at that club, no question. You can't say that for certain though, surely. Do I have anything about... Wait. Sorry, I'm trying to think. I haven't seen any mention of the grouse, so... But maybe there's something in the evidence?
Hold it!
Lord Van Zieks was at the club? He was. Detectives who visited the club yesterday to make inquiries have confirmed it. Several members report having seen the accused being admitted to the room in question as a guest. It looks like there's no disputing that he was there then. Well, we know that Lord Van Zieks was investigating Inspector Gregson, don't we? Perhaps he already discovered the Inspector's secret notebook, which led him to the club. Maybe. Presumably then, there are also eyewitnesses who can testify that Gregson was there. None have been identified at this time, no. So the all-important victim wasn't seen at this mysterious club. Oi! Why are you asking the Inspector Lestrade, eh? So that's all I've got to work with. It's not enough! Gina's not holding back with that ice-cold stare of hers, is she? I really don't know what to make of all this. Lord Van Zieks told us he was investigating Gregson, but he never once mentioned that he met the Inspector the day before the incident. You don't think Lord Van Zieks could have been lying to us, do you? That's not the only way to explain this. If everything Lord Van Zieks has told us is true, then there must be a mistake in this testimony somewhere. Hold up. I'll have to reinvestigate everything. Okay, I remember the passport. Travel overseas. The day of departure was a week before the murder, but I don't even remember if he actually got to go, or if he did go, how long he was out. Traveled on October 31st. Just one day. Okay, this has to be it, right? But let me just reinvestigate everything else, so... I've seen this... I remember the gash on the side of the trunk. And by the looks of it, it might have been struck while it was open, because I feel like if it was closed, that scratch would have gone a lot further. Wait a minute. There's a thing there. There's something stuck in the side of the trunk. It's glinting. It looks like a fragment of metal, but it's wedged in so tightly I can't remove it. Well, don't cut yourself. You better leave it, I think. Can we add it to the description at least? You mean there are details we've yet to uncover? Exactly. A clue, perhaps, that even Gina hasn't noticed. Wrong button. Sorry, I'm trying to think. I'm thinking either this statement or this one, because the passport said police business, so they would have been on. They should have been onto it, or no one could have seen him because he was already out. Let me try this one.
Objection!
Damn it! Blah 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 blah. How about this one?
Objection!
Damn it! I don't like my odds, so I'm gonna have to reload. Or do I have to press her on this again? Wrong button.
Hold it!
Okay, I'm... The grouse. Maybe there's a word here she misread? Or... Oh, maybe there's... there anything? $9.97.
Objection!
Come on! Do I have to repress everything? Wrong thing.
Hold it!
Follow orders, no, not me.
Hold it!
Mhm.
Hold it!
I'm just in a base.
Hold it!
Let me look over everything. Can I use the ears now? Within 1 week, Dunkirk, France, police business. Let me check in here again. Just reinvestigate everything. Wrong thing. Uh, The only other thing I can think of is maybe the person with the... Like, who... Maybe it wasn't actually Gregson, but... The other guy who Gregson lent his ID to, but... I don't know. Wait. Oh, okay, I misread that. I thought it said, I thought we were talking about the witnesses saw Gregson, not Van Zeeks. Okay, I'm genuinely lost. Let me pull up a guide. And where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Letter of intro... What? Okay, hold up. Go to the third statement. Letter of introduction. Professor Pika told... Wait, I've already seen this before. Wasn't this a sailing ticket though? Black Bird Line. Looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. Oh! 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 That's why. The Grouse isn't a gentleman's club, it's a ship. Bam! I said bam!
Objection.
I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they're places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. I'm a gentleman! Is your mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealings were definitely happening at a club? The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definitive yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean? I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on the 31st of October may not have been a gentleman's club at all. It's called looking at the evidence, dipshit. Her words in a gentleman's club. What was it? A steamship. You think it's a ship? I have the evidence to prove it. Right here. Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. The other side, my lord. Be more specific next time. Ah, it's reported we are taken for passage upon a steamship, yes? Yes, that's gross.
Objection.
So there's a steamship named the Grouse that happened to share a name with the club. But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there. How? Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port. The ship arrived at the port of Dover on the 1st of November. Oh! The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, 31st October, when the victim was on his clandestine mission. Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, this isn't his ticket, it's Mikotoba's, but then I remembered that if the ship wasn't in the area, how would he have gotten to it? Ship hadn't yet docked on British shores. We're certainly making undercover investigation, somewhat challenging. The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on the day in question. Then show your evidence for that assertion. Okay. I want that cane to break! In our case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence to the court. Sideburns. Investigating the SS Grouse on October. I think it's the... Okay, it's either the passport or the bag. Please. Okay. Where's this? Passport for travel issue to the victim. Dated 31st of October. What are you suggesting? Use your brain! I know I'm not that smart, but use your brain! I'm suggesting that one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility that he wasn't even in the country. Oh, that's new. This document is for process to France. It doesn't appear to have been officially authorized. The day before the SS Grouse arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night. I have oh dang it! I'm sorry, I thought you were Virgil who said sideburns. Anyway, yeah, it's a unicorn cane. Also, hi Eva. Hope you're doing well tonight. Also, this case with Male Strongheart as the judge, I don't like this because one, it's like he is the law at this point, so it's like trying to take down the bad guy on an impossible level. And two, I miss the original judge's wacky face and the original gavel sounds. According to my father, who was on board at the port of Dunkirk, France. What could possibly have taken the victim there? Why are you laughing at me? I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport. You knew about it? Thank you for voicing my thoughts. The prosecution strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations, and the line the prosecution has been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. I think the prosecutor's office is trying to hide something. Nani? And now that you've expertly disproven their assertion, I intended to reveal what I believe that something to be. What are you playing at, Prosecutor Sargi? A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts, without exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? Isn't that what courtrooms are supposed to be? Truth? The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper. God damn it! I want that cane to break so bad! What on earth are you saying, Counsel? And stop bashing that unicorn! The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Yourself? But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that. Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper. You're saying the mission he was undertaking was, obviously, an assassination. Okay? Barak von Zieks never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had an iron-cast alibi. Are we talking about Assassin? Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice. And you claim that was Inspector Gregson? What the hell do you think you're saying? My boss would never have done nothing like that. And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense. What? No, it can't be! We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper. Well, wait, wasn't the whole Reaper thing supposed to be the, like an organization? There's no way that the person giving him his orders was Lord Van Zieks. The true Reaper is somebody else. He's in the judge's bench, I know it! Barak Van Zieks is not the Reaper. A predictable response for someone who's advocating for the man. And even if it's true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went aboard the SS Grouse on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all. You have some solid reason for doubting the assassin, do you, Counsel? Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard the steamship. Professor Mikotoba and Judge Shikoku were on that very ship. He's the Reaper, he's the Reaper, she's the Reaper, you're the Reaper, I'm the Reaper! Grab your grim Reaper sights, because we're all Reapers! If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. What?! You're right, of course. No suspicious deaths were reported on board this ship. Don't tell me it was another instance of what happened to you, like someone, quote-unquote, died on the ship but they kept quiet, and then whoever was quote-unquote dead on the Grouse ship just woke up, I've forgotten everything, and just wandered around Hong Kong. But I think perhaps you'd missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. Huh? Gregson did board the SS Grouse that night, with the intention of dispatching his mark. But his mission ended in failure. Failure? It seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail? Inspector Gina Lestrade. How many Reapers do you people have? What? The victim's notebook that you read an excerpt from earlier. That doesn't contain details of secret investigations at all. Excuse me. It describes 10 years of assassination plots to be only carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey. You're lying! Even if all the bludgers of what got taken out had it coming. The boss want the Reaper. Poor Gina. There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. He may just be an apprentice, but if he spent any time at Scotland Yard, he must have heard rumors. I ain't heard nothing, and I don't believe a word of it. And testify again, as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss. Oh, I don't... Break. Just fall apart. The witness will agree on the formal testimony. Mr. Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook. Alright, Your Honor, here's a book. Dear Diary, Male Strongheart sucks. Yeah, I want that cane to break, and I want the old gavel back. Yeah, this notebook does have a lot of stuff about what the Reaper got up to these parts past 10 years. Names of victims, dates and places and stuff. The last entry in there was 31st of October. It said grouse for the place on that date, and then the name of the mark. There was a note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago, somewhat. But honest, the boss didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reaper, that's all. Keep personal opinion out of your testimony, witness. We require only established facts here. This must be so hard for her. You can't deny it now, surely. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What can't I deny? The notebook contained the name of the final mark, and the location where the assassination would take place. That information that the victim could only have known if he was working with the Reaper. Sure, who wishes to read this final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the grouse on the 31st of October. How do you read this then? Reading's still not her strong suit. That ain't the problem, alright, Odo. Excuse me. It's a funny name, and I ain't English. It's hard to read. So it's someone from overseas? Let me have a bash at it. Seishi. Oh! I fucking knew it! It's him! Seishiro, in it? Yeah, Seishiro Jig Oak. You, maybe? What? It can't be. Seishiro Jikoku? But that's Judge Jikoku. Seishiro Jikoku. Certainly not an English name, you're right.
Objection.
But that can't be right. I know Judge Jikoku, and I saw him the day before yesterday. So I know for a fact the man hasn't been assassinated. As I said, the Reaper failed. Bring Judge Jikoku in! Oh. Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and returned to British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector. Personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Barrick von Zeeks. An undeniably logical argument. Kazuma, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it!
Huh? BAM! Kiss my feet! Pray forgiveness. I was not expecting this visual. Also, imagine this, like, if you were playing this on the 3DS, that foot would be right in your face. Pray forgive the discourtesy offending my hallowed chalice while I stand accused of murder. I'm surprised he didn't kick Gina in the process. Like, hold it! He raised his leg, hits Gina. Oh, sorry about that. Let me try. Step aside. Okay, let's do this again. Lord Van Zeeks? The accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. He will return to the dock. I say nothing of whether or not I'm the Reaper. That's the task of this court to decide. I just imagine, what if he was drunk this whole time? Like, Your Honor, my defendant, can I take him back? I think he needs some sort of, like, drunkenness cure. I say nothing of whether or not I'm the Ribbit. There is one thing I can say unequivocally. Glass number 1. That girl is no detective. What? No, that's right, I ain't. I'm an inspector. Repeating rumors heard around the yard. Reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. You suck at your job! That's not testimony. It's practically a script. No doubt the rest of the trial will go exactly as you clearly planned. Oh fuck, I didn't even notice that! Strongheart planned it! Or Kazuma? That works too. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I am the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. Yeah! Like... Okay, so it was discovered that Cosmo's dad was, sent to the gallows by Van Zieks after being accused of murder, and as far as I know, Cosmo's sort of thinking, okay, something's fishy here. What the hell did Van Zieks do? So he's on trial for murder and he gets like to drink. I'm having a bad day. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself by attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony. What did you say? This is our chance. My lord, the defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information related to the testimony. Sorry. I'm so used to seeing this with the judge and the gavel, not Strongheart and his unicorn cane. Okay, two things. One, just imagine, what if Strongheart goes and says, my favorite pony is Twilight Sparkle? Two is, like, I'm noticing below the unicorn, there's like a, if you play chess, there's like a, it looks like the rook, like the top half of it. Very well, I'll make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. And allow me to toast the court's impartiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately. Van Zieks, throw your glass at him. Ow. At once, my lord. Yes. Oh, wait. What kind of new info? Does Van Zieks add anything at the end? Okay, I guess he'll only chime in if I interrogate her.
Hold it!
In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper. Not you at all! That ain't only explanation, ain't it? He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret, and that notebook said what he found out. If I may. When originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I didn't object. I believe the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yep. And those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper. One arm? What are you on about? Is the Reaper a spider? Did it have 8 arms? The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's simply no way one person could have taken them all alone. The Reaper is an organization. Welcome to Reaper Incorporated! With you at its head. I was the unknowing mascot of the Reaper Corporation. I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know where he was elsewhere. So I had been able to check the most recent entry in his book. I knew the location. You knew it said grouse? Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate. Alone. So that explains why several members of the club saw you there. But of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France. Oh, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Very well then, back to your testimony. Fine. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto? You seem a little shocked by something a moment ago. No, it's alright. I'm overthinking this, aren't I?
Hold it!
Names of victims, dates, places, and stuff? What in particular? Well, besides the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up. What other name was that? It's the one I told you yesterday. The same name written over and over again. You mean... Assassin? The assassin Assassin? Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or something, isn't he? We're even listening. Assassin. The assassin. With an oh so clever name. What? Like a killer, you mean? Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when they would be vulnerable and who to use to get at them. But the person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying. If that's true, then the report does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes. They're not Batman! Then perhaps what it said on the passport document. Permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been... Clearly the assassin, who was meant to take Seishiro Jikoku's life. Gina, can you confirm that? Against the final entry that listed Grouse and Seishiro Jikoku. What name was written? Well, that's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it, as it happens. Nani? Like question mark or something there, I think. In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case. But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not? How infuriating. A nameless assassin. Unless Assassin had a friend.
Hold it!
And you're saying that the mark listed was Seishiro Jikoku? That's what it said! Funny name if you ask me. And I thought your name was odd. So pleased to have lost my crown there. Mr. Jikoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judicature.
Remember the man? He's my boyfriend. I mean, he came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago.
Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart.
That pretty young fellow is a very able man, I must say.
Wait. Okay, so 53, 43. How did... It's weird that the 43-year-old looks older than the 53-year-old. So Lord Strongheart was Judge Jikoku's mentor.
If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now.
10 years ago, after that fateful case.
Precisely. In the aftermath of the processor case, his repatriation was organized immediately.
Duality of facial hair. It's like yin and yang.
It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook.
I'm pretty sure you know. I didn't think it was possible, but the moodiness has gotten even worse now. Maybe I'll just keep talking.
Hold it!
What do you mean a criminal? Judge Jikoku is no criminal. You don't know that! Well, don't ask me! I don't know nothing about it! Do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Jikoku did once appear in court here in Britain? It was related to the professor case, I'm sure. Yes, of course, you're right. Oh yeah, wasn't that he went to the witness stand but wound up sort of going on a full tirade of like, Britain sucks! Oh, right. He karate chopped it. It was a pitiful situation, yes. I'd forgotten all about it. But I prosecuted that trial too, as it happens. You did? It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor proceedings, you see. But he was acquitted after being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand.
You may leave!
Fix this, please! That's how he broke it, like that! And there you have it. Also, hold up. Wait. 53, 43, 33. Is there a 23 here? Damn, we could have felt like completed it. 53, 43, 33. There you have it. Have what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court. Guilty or innocent alike. What? Oh no! Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Shikoku was targeted... The man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the Mark returns to Britain once more. He broke a witness stand, and I took that personally. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. Come on, that's absurd! To take someone's life for that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd, killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly the rules by which the man operates are beyond a sane person's comprehension. Right, I've had just about enough of this. Gina? All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people. It's cobblers. Come on, Otto. Yes? Do your job! Why ain't you saying nothing? Why? Why ain't you yelling out objection or something? You gotta find a flaw. You do usually. Someone's lying in a question. You gotta work out who it is. I was hoping while I interrogated you on your testimony, Van Zeeks would butt in with some sort of, wait, that ain't right. I'm working on it, Gina, please. Please. What a boss. Get out, Purge, with an insult to the court and to your own testimony. Your face is an insult to the court! Seriously, you're timing this too? I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make a detective. I didn't know a common asshat could become the Lord Chief Justice. When this trial is over, you will forfeit your warrant card, Mr. Strahd. Is that clear? I've had it with a lot of you. It's lies in every bloody place you look in the world, innit? Well, I've had enough. Gina. So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind. I'm gonna fucking kill Male Strongheart! To do what, Mr. Naruto? There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was said just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd. Do you mean... I'm not gonna let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears. Which one is it? Victims, places. Grassroots place on the date, the name of the mark. I'm sorry, Gina, one last thing!
Hold it!
I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve. Eh? What do you mean? Amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency.
What? An inconsistency?
Like your hair! Really, Otto? I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Crap. Gina or Van Zeeks? Hold on. Sorry, I'm getting worried. What? I'm sorry, just, I took a quick glimpse at the guide, because I was worried about getting it wrong, and turns out I was way wrong. Unless I skipped ahead, because neither of these two, it's, for some reason,
Take that!
by you, Kazuma Asogi. Me? I'm just as dumbfounded as you. What's going on?
Is there some attempt at filibustering, Counsel? Prosecutor Asogi has given no testimony.
What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you'll realize what you've done. Shit. Ah! Crap, I can't remember. I don't think I can scroll back the history that far back. Either... Maybe it has to do with the ticket? London arrival. North coast of France for a night. Wait, so was it that... Hold on, this ship was returning on November 1st? Or was it that the whole mission failed? I'm so sorry, I'm dumb. Okay, so according to the guide, I'm not sure how this is involved, but I don't know, maybe the fact that Gina had it.
Take that!
This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson.
Umbrella construction, is it? It's certainly very heavy. What's this? A bloodstain? And a relatively fresh one, too.
What? You mean that ain't grease from all the boss's fish and chips? Is grease ever red? Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests that the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed.
I can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report.
Yes, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with it, hoping to sell it. Well, I found it. Me, with me nose for trouble. Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, we're talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed. Kazuma? And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this. Oh, dang! I should have caught on to that. Like, how did you know there was a passport? So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? I guessed. We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport?
Objection.
But you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. Did he? On the 31st of October, where were you? Trick-or-treating? At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Grouse. Is that the answer you're looking for? What did you do? Are you the assassin? I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Cosmo was there on the ship, it can only have been for one purpose. Oh no, Mr. Naruto. Surely, you don't think... Come on, Ryunosuke, you know the rules. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So as it stands, you've proved nothing. Hold on. Wait. Is this a sword strike? And that metal plate in the box, that metal thing stuck in it, is that the tip of a sword? And since Cosmo's dual wielding, are you challenging me to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt? That you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector? He was there, with Gregson? There's a clue that you've overlooked, a secret that the trunk can tell us. Can't be sure at this point. I'll need to verify. But I have a nasty feeling that I'm gonna be right.
The accusation being made is deeply disturbing, but nevertheless, we must test it.
Sorry, I just noticed something. When I said earlier that that Strongheart's cane had the top of it looked like the top of the Rook chess piece, his hair, it looks similar to the top piece of the Bishop piece in chess.
The vessel that found.
It has to be, right? It's going right through the leather. That's not what I pressed! I'm going for the metal thing! Okay, the trunk is metal itself, but there's another metal thing! Wait, do I have to open it first? This has to be it, right?
Got it.
Got it! There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here. Like the tip of a blade. Blade? Kazuma, slung around your waist as that for today, is the esteemed blade Karuma. Of course it is. Won't you draw it? Here in this courtroom? For all to see. He has two swords, though! Can he draw both? He's dual wielding, seriously! Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer.
Bailiff, watch prosecutor, I'll slug you like a hawk.
That won't be necessary. Hey! Oh no. The tip. It's broken. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed. Agreed, Kazuma Asogi? Expertly done, Ryunosuke. That's a point to you, and well deserved.
Do you mean to tell the court prosecutor, Shogi?
Yes, on the 31st of October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. You're the Reaper?! So the additional person authorized to travel was me.
And the mission was?
The assassination of the Mark. What? Nani? You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Chikoku? And here you were accusing Van Zeeks! Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one.
Explain.
I accepted the assassination mission, yes. And I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk. But I never had any intention of carrying out the plan. Then what the hell happened? Did Gregson just throw his... We're using his trunk as target practice? We're never going to do it? Or wait, maybe someone stole the sword and used it? You can't believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Judge Chikoku arrived safely in London the following day. On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. Then we boarded the SS Grouse and made for the cabin deck, as indicated in the plan. So you went to Judge Chikoku's cabin? Exactly. He wasn't there, though. We decided to wait, but you've already told us that he had no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. Where? I spent that night at a boarding house in town, and returned to England the following morning. A boarding house in Dunkirk? My signature will be in the register book. It would be simple enough to verify.
Then, Mark became a Chikoku?
Gregson was no assassin, so the Mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in that room on Fresno Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger and end his wretched agent's life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder.
Objection!
But if you did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the inspector's trunk? I tripped and fell. I don't need to answer that. Yes, you do! The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case. It is now! And accordingly, I choose to exercise my rights to silence on that matter. Okay, one hand you do have the right, but on the other hand, doesn't that make you even more suspicious?
The court will sequester the sword as evidence.
As you wish, my lord. I thought he was about to say, no, it's mine!
I must take immediate action now to verify whether Seishiro Chikoku remains unharmed.
Before that. Kartama, the Great Blade, is such a thing of beauty I want to gaze at it for hours. The tip of the great sword, broken. It's such a shame. It's been so meticulously cared for over the years. I wonder if there's a symbolism. I can almost hear Kartama's sobs. Kazuma must have really taken a swing for that to happen. What? Remains unharmed. I agree. That should be our first priority. Oh yeah, Herlock, Sholmes, and Mikotoba, they've gone AWOL, and I have no idea where Chikoku is right now. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. Oh shit! How? When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should rise. Thank you for tuning in, Ebba. Have a good night. Also, I love that little icon there. You don't mean to say that you think Judge Shikoku may have been killed? The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal. The Reaper Corporation? And he has the power and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Van Zeeks? If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you.
Prong, prong, prong! Bram! We will take an emergency recess for 13 minutes.
Now?
I have to pee! Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst.
Oh boy. No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who'd only just arrived in the country. Unless they're racist! Except that is. For the Reaper, wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through the net 10 years ago.
I would have to agree. Mr. Narrator, what did the French shake?
Yes?
I sincerely hope we are successful. If we're unable to confirm Mr. Jikoku's healthy existence in the next 13 minutes, you will face grave difficulties. Emphasis on grave, because I'll put you in one. Court is adjourned!
What? Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare. I can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. I get the feeling Male Strongheart is doing something like, hey Yasugi, you want the truth of what happened to your dad? Do this thing with your sword and I'll tell you everything. If something awful has happened to Judge Shikoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control. I swear to God, if he's dead! I felt it from the moment I stepped in. That strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options. Unless we could sneak out and search for ourselves. Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last Oh! Wait. Don't tell me that little bunny is like a old-timey cell phone. Oh right. Little Mr. Sholmes doll Iris gave us. What if we're using it too early? Or it's one of those, use it for an emergency! What if there's a bigger emergency? Perhaps now's the time. What should I do? Pull Harley's ears? Whoops! I was gonna save! Here goes then. I'm gonna do it! Good luck, Mr. Naruto. No looking back. Heave! Iris, did you turn Sholmes into a rabbit? Mr. Sholmes? Where are you?
Here, my dear fellow, here!
It's the felt doll talking. Pull the ear again, as hard as you can. Alright, I'll pull it. It's gonna rip. Oh, that's... Wait. Okay, one, that was kind of cute actually. Two, where... Was that in your collar or on your hat?
Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off.
Mr. Sholmes, where are you?
Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin of the SS Grouse.
The SS Grouse?
She left Dover last night, after the final pieces of cargo were loaded.
That's like a little earring.
We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour.
taking a ship to France. We need him back here in half an hour. Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we've left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station, by train to the port. In order to board this vessel in time. You've already worked it out? The steamship was where everything really took place? Mr. Nerudo, pray, what is my name? Harley? Herlock Sholmes, world-famous great detective. Recited to perfection. Well done. You're a genius, Mr. Sholmes. That's the only word for... Are we pulling on the ear again? Mr. Sato, gently with this genius's air, please. Oh my, I'm ever so sorry. If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikotoba. You may remember that. Oh, hey! I'm the Mikotoba POV. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Grouse. At Scotland Yard yesterday, when we examined that notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. Ah, but of course it was, my dear fellow. Not once did I controvert that fact. I merely had a court-bound compatriot under my name. Or pull its ear. You did, didn't you? We just entered a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if we're unable to present any new leads, then I'm afraid to say... Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. Is this bunny battery-powered? I have no doubt we shall have welcome news for you within a half hour. Please tell me you know where Jochikoku is. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That would be wonderful. Until later, then. We didn't even tell you! You'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch yet. I shan't be hearing from anything else from you. Keep talking my ear. Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operate in that way in the first place? Why the deuce would I know? It's ours' invention, not mine. Whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes, we have but half that now before the grouse puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Mikotoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. More sense than you. So, let us begin. Whoa! First class cabin number 2. This is the one. It's the same crew, but different colors and hair. And their little fish shirt pieces are different. But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow. What's written on your arm? Why are you loitering here? Russian? I'm trying. What? I am Sorry. I am heavy weapons guy, and this is my weapon. Why are you loitering here? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? Yet. The question really ought to be, who are you? Do you not recognize world-traveling great sailor Chicken Stroganoff? Okay, 1, your name is Chicken? Really? 2, why is Sholmes written on your arm? Great detective. Ha! I don't think so. Do you see that, Mikotoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. The M is a little askew, though. Goodness me, is that a tattoo? That says Sholmes? Unless it's... S... Sorry, I'm trying to look at it upside down. S-A-W-L-O-4-S? Well, while such adoration is flattering, naturally, it does leave me a little cold. What are you talking about? Leave now! How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by name and not by appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman. I didn't even notice the camera was getting closer. Also that expression. Does your brother by any chance have a pet snake? Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikotoba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jikoku. There's no one with his name on board. But we know that he purchased a ticket for passage. Out of London? Also, why is he looking away? Is he hiding something? You mean Eastern man. He left ship 2 hours ago! Here at Dunkirk. He said something about the emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? Association has realized that we're after him, has he? His cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please. Niet. I have orders not to let even mouse inside. Hence the little mouse trap. Mikotoba, be a good man and draw the sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so that he leaves the area. Bark, 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 bark. Make chicken gestures at him. Doesn't great detectives see that even sailors have ears, both left and right? Curses! The plan is ruined! And you have only yourself to blame. Forget it. Cabin door is locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside. Kick it! Mikotoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock? Within a mere 5 seconds. So if you'd be so kind as to offer me the requisite time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner. How could I refuse such a typically unappealing request? So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds. Good man. So, the game is afoot. Oh shit. How do I... Either I can set off the mousetrap myself, or set off the little ship warning bells. This must be a mousetrap. Perhaps I could distract the crewman's attention with this. Bombs away! That sounds like Big Mouse and Trap. Pikachu! I will bring bucket of water later and put out its misery. I don't like the sound of that. In any case, my dear fellow, that was quite unconvincing. Only Japanese mice make a chew sound. Pikachu? Oh, really? Pray tell, what sound do Russian mice make? Beep beep. Naturally. Pichu! Though although quite unconvincing, I rarely admit. So go ahead, Mikotoba, do a beep-beep this time. No, I'm sure I can come up with something with an alternative. Switch for the electrical lights. Perhaps if I were to turn off the lights, everyone would be able to see what we were doing. Charles probably wouldn't be able to see either. Unless he has night vision goggles. Bombs away! What is happening? Where is the light? Now, Sholmes, now! What ho, Mikotoba? I can't see shit! Nobody there. That was a close shave. Quite a knack you have, stumbling so violently in an apparently empty corridor. Do be quiet. I shall have to think of another approach. scream in this? Or... this would appear to be an alarm bell. All hell would break loose if that thing were to ring. Whole crew know about it. Why not? Here goes. Pardon me! Yo! What are you doing? If we were at sea, that would be a very bad problem. What's going on down there? Seaman Stroganov, report at once. Sorry, sir. Nothing to report. It was just a stupid trick. No, not by me! Oh, no, not by me. By world famous... No, as I told you. Now, Shums, now. Done. Not even 5 seconds, huh? Well, don't dare stand there gawping at my brilliance in Mikotoba. In we go! Right. Is he in here? Please be in here. Are those pajamas? What the... Is he... okay, is he hiding in the closet? Also, what did he do to that little like thing there? Also, is that ice? Good gracious. It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. He stripped naked! Those clothes on the floor. Their Seishiro's without question. He has a little nightcap. Well, it seems you are just a little too late. Yes, by about 2 hours. Either he's in that trunk or he's in the closet. Or cabinet? Closet? wardrobe? About 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may well be 2 hours worth of clues to find here. But that burly crewman may return at any point. Indeed he may. Which makes this all the more thrilling. Okay. Quite the exquisite glass, I must say. See here how it... Is something wrong? Did you put your tongue on the ice? Ice, Mikotoba, ice. What opulence of first-class passengers enjoy. Chilled drinks. Pardon? Could it be that this steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? It is a luxury liner. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce. Or dead bodies. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delights from all over the world. Suddenly, Mikotoba. The sight of you is making my mouth water. I haven't taken on the flavor of the food I ate, you know. There's a speaking tube here, though it's been stopped with some sort of cloth. So the voice of the crewman on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose. Or indeed, so that the voices in this cabin aren't heard elsewhere. Could have happened here that was for no one else's ears, do you think? Either that, or it could be to prevent snakes from entering. What is it with you and snakes on the ship? That's really become a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? I know you're tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking ship, but this isn't the time. Anything in here? Waste paper basket. There's still rubbish in there. Indeed. Let us pry. I've discovered recently I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' waste paper baskets. I'm a trash man. I sincerely hope for your work. Ah. Here we have a notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days ago? The night before we arrived in London. When I was still aboard myself. Following departure from the port of Dunkirk, all crew members are required to assemble. I barely read it! First class passengers are constantly under the watchful eye of the crew. Welcome relief to have some privacy for once. Can I I look at it? Damn it. There's a sizable trunk. Seishiro is partial to all things large, and a rather clumsy fellow if he failed to notice he'd left that behind. Perhaps he left it on purpose. It's lighter than you might imagine, but still a hindrance to a speedy escape. Pity. It's locked, so we can't look inside. Surely 5 seconds from now the situation will be quite different. I think it requires a code. It has a 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in a morose enough mood to work through all the combinations at present. What? The wall's a slightly different color just here. Maybe he's hiding something behind that frame. What do you have observed arises when a frame that has been hanging for some time is removed? Perhaps your friend is not a thief. Now there's a bold deduction worthy of a great detective. He may very well be the elusive thief who's been plaguing France's galleries of late. I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere. That outline on the wall. I feel as though I might have seen it somewhere. It's right there! Oh shit. You're still here. Abel Seaman Stroganoff. Hi. I was beginning to think you'd never materialize. You're waiting for me? Of course. I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. I was in trouble with Captain because of trick you played before. Poor innocent chicken. It is all your fault. My pay has been docked. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off now. Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow, but first, there is something that must be done. Logic? What are you talking about? Why, naturally, the debunking of your deceits and the barring of the truth. Kakoi! I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Chikoku has not yet left this vessel at all. How come your big brain doesn't kick in when it's Ryunosuke and Susato? For another, my dear Seaman Stroganoff. You know exactly where the man is, even as we speak, don't you? How can you? Good gracious, Sholmes. You mean you worked it out? All of it? It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you kind of join me for a dance of logic and reasoning? Nothing would please me more. What is this? Time for the deduction tango. We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games, no. Time is of the essence. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Chikoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. Duh, that is what I said. Sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there is something in this room that has quite clearly contradicted it. What? Yes, of course. I see you've noted it too, Mikotoba. Then please do take the lead. What in this cabinet shows the impossibility of Chikoku? Sorry, let me save real quick. I'm hoping this ends on a to be continued because I don't want like this entire case to be hours long and I'm stuck. Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observational skills then, Mikotoba. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Sholmes, not 3. Why, of course it has, quite. Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But as I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe! The answers become clear. So, impress me. I think I can manage that. It has to be right.
Take that!
Yay! Whoa! It is a tango! Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass. How curious that the ice should have melted despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. Eh? It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. With this well-chilled glass in hand. Get your mind off the refreshments. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganov? Eh. But why would Seishiro run from us? If this doesn't end with Seishiro and... well, not Seishiro. Mikotoba and Sholmes like hand in hand doing a waltz, I'm gonna be disappointed. Why would Seishiro run from us? He knows. He knows we're looking for him. Confirm one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Grouse are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jikoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? Oh, were they in different rooms? They are. I was in the cabin next door, and Seishiro was, yes, 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage. As I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Shikoku had to hide. It's the sign! What traces? I know nothing about this. Ah, this is news to you, is it, Mr. Stroganov? Sholmes, where are you getting at? As I said, there are traces in the cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure won't have escaped your notice. Something out of place. That's the key to this, Mikotoba. The remnants of the dark deed that took place in here are being masked by something quite incongruous. Because I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikotoba. Someone play the tango music! Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as you all know. Now then, let's see if I can uncover the truth here. You have the floor. It has to be, right?
Take that!
Dance! It's the rules of passage in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall, as if they were put there in a hurry. Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded. The frame was originally over here! The shape and size are a perfect size. A perfect match. You are right. When did frame move? Hardly the most observant of crewmen, are you, Mr. Stroganov? I would think your captain is quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability. Did we just say he sucks at his job? So, Mikotoba, why don't you lift the frame off the wall? Oh! Oh shit! It's a bullet hole! Who has been shooting walls? Jikoku! I see the projectile has been removed. Clearly the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Is it in the trash? Now then, Mr. Stroganov. Yeah, I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield said occupant. Oh, it's like... Okay, I'm guessing that it isn't a tattoo, but I'm guessing Jikoku wrote Sholmes' name on his arms. Like, if someone comes in here with this name, make him go away. Why would I try to protect a stranger? So we're talking about the same man, I see. Good. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reason why you're lying for the man. Yeah, it's been told to keep this up, this pretense, as clearly shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes. I'm pretty sure it's because of the writing on the arm. That, or maybe there's some sort of something on the back of his shirt. My dear Mikotoba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study your subject from every angle. I'm quite sure that you'll see it. In fact, I put a wager on it. So I'm to glare this fellow from all sides? I can do that. Is it money? It is money! Chunky arms.
Take that!
Dance, 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 dance. It's almost too obvious for words. Quite. The universal language of the world. Money. Ah! Belly button. Sorry. And I'd wager that the Eastern fellow in question is Seishiro Jikoku. Yes? So, I presume you realize what this means. There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. And the way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice. But... oh, wait, I just remembered. The case where Susato and Ryunosuke were traveling by sea to Britain, there was an instance with an animal. Is Seishiro holding like one of Chicken's, like Stroganoff's pets hostage, like a pet chicken? I believe you know, Mr. Stroganoff. You know where Mr. Jikoku was hiding at the precise moment in time. He's in the trunk! But wait, it requires a code, so how is he supposed to get out? As always, Mikotoba, in matters of deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally. I think you're onto something there, Sholmes. You found the... okay. This word also doubles as like an anti-Asian slur, so I'm not sure how to approach this. You found the weak spot in the armor. We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. I'm guessing either the... my first guess is the trunk, but I'm a little worried about that 7 combination locker. Or 7 number lock combination. So it's either that or the wardrobe. Like if the pupils, a minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention. Even that which is barely perceptible. You can hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man's turned his entire head. It's not exactly what you describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious. We shall let your tapping toes decide, my dear fellow. Like, it has to be this. Oh. Yeah, like he's looking straight down at it. Still not sure about the lock. Worries me a little bit. But if it's not this, I imagine I get another chance.
Take that!
Dance. Also, I never imagined Mikotoba to be a tap dancer. You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? The truth is, Seishiro Jikoku was unable to escape from the ship in time. And is, at this very moment, doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk. If he still has a breath to take. I fear he may be running dangerously low on air. Quick, pick up the trunk and shake it! I imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it would be in everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. How can we? Are you forgetting about the combo? We don't even know the code. The combination lock can't be opened from inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure. Oh my god, I called it. It's written on, it's on his arm. It's not Sholmes' name, it's a number. Of course. In short, before Jikoku hid himself inside that trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. S-H-O-L-M-E. Yep. That's actually gonna confirm. See, it's right there! Hold on, let me... 5231045. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Now, Mikotoba, would you do the honors and open the trunk? How on earth do you expect me? It's a 7-digit number. Remember? Quickly now, we have little time. Hold on, let me pull it up again. Okay, it was 523. Five, 2, 3, 1, 0. Whoops. 1, 0, 4, 5.
Take that!
Yay!
Yeah! I need air!
That did it. It's open.
You had to battle, didn't you?
Are you a contortionist?
Well, Eugene, you found me.
Seishiro. In his shirt, in his outfit is all attorney badges. I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you here, you know.
But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it.
No, quite. I just wish it were some other way. Well, are you ever going to introduce me?
Your reputation precedes you, Mr. Holmes. I've read many stories of your exploits.
Excuse my manners, Holmes. This is Mr. Jikoku, my old friend and traveling companion. The devil is in the details, Mikotoba. I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion, who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour.
You see, my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor.
Is it? Well, Seishiro, are you going to explain all this?
You know it all by now, I imagine. What you didn't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship.
By the Reaper of the Bailey? I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now.
And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again.
So you decided to flee the capital without saying a word?
I'm afraid so, yes. Of course, I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you.
Hello? Somewhat surprising, I must say. Oh, you.
Porters.
Well, first-class cabins on board luxury steamships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. Did you pay everyone?
So says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. Well, I don't care for your opinion.
Wait, is he armed?
The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket and here I am.
I've just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So you already purchased your return ticket before we even docked in Dover. To prevent anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence, is that it?
Eugene, I have nothing to say to you.
Well, in a mere 5 minutes, the ship will set off on its onward voyage and not make port again until Italy. We can't go to Italy right now. We need to get him back to the UK. I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once.
You have no jurisdiction over my movements.
We have this, Seishiro. Take it. Oh, snap. Eat shit, Hellman.
What is it?
It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be. Oh, he's angry.
Okay, prepare then, Eugene.
Come on, let's go. One moment. Inside Mr. Jikoku's trunk, I found this rather fascinating trinket. What is it? It kind of looks like the wind-up part of a toy. What is that? Seishiro?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small components from something. But what? I have no idea.
By the look on his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, this pocket is a small souvenir of our brief sojourn in France. How are we supposed to get back to Britain in half an hour, or 15 minutes depending on the time span? Well, young Naruto, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant. It's still going! Kazuma Asogi. I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie. But still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than you're saying. Wait a minute. How do we have these? Wait a minute. That remark I made earlier about Strongheart's cane having pieces that look like chess pieces. Is this supposed to be one of them, like the king or queen? Pocket watch! Oh, dang. It's called the crown, I believe. A watch would be quite useless without one. The crown? Like what sits on top of a monarch's head? Oh! Strongheart has a pocket watch! Very grand name for such a tiny part. But actually... Yes, Mr. Naruto? This is a crown. I have a feeling I might have seen a monarch around here somewhere with a very bare head. If by monarch you mean pocket watch, then I'm sure you have. Oh. It's for this, isn't it? I thought it would be Stronghearts. I feel sure I know exactly what will fit here. Really? I was just thinking precisely the same thing. We're about to see that the little round component is actually part of Inspector Gregson's pocket watch. Really? I was just thinking precisely that too. A perfect fit. I knew it. Alright, perhaps you knew it. I'll make a note of this information at once. Still, how do we get all this? How do we get these items super fast?
During the past 30 minutes while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jikoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained.
We must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. Mikotoba Sholmes, get here! There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict.
Objection.
The trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke. You are too! You should know when to lay down your sword. And you should know never to presume when the battle is won. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. And there can only be one conclusion. That the accused is guilty. All relevant testimony? Far from it. There's still a crucial witness, from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony.
In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel.
Yes, my lord. Tomorrow? Why not today? Oh, wait, right. Okay. I was about to say... The witness is already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Seishiro Jikoku. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Ah! You found him? Yeah!
But the investigation of every policing resource in the capital suggests that Jikoku is already dead.
He's outside of Britain! How in the name of God? You're not God! Did you find the man? He was located in France during the recess, at the port of Dunkirk. thanks to one of Mr. Herlock Sholmes' famous deductions.
Herlock Sholmes?
Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jikoku on the night of his death. Because along with Prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate him. Which means that Seishiro Jikoku is the sole witness who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grouse on the 31st of October. Hopefully nothing happens in between this and tomorrow's trial.
It would appear that's too soon to move to adjudication at this point.
The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jikoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered.
In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow.
Sorry, I was just listening to the song. I thought maybe it was a rendition of an older Ace Attorney's theme song.
No objection from reader's side?
No, my lord. No objections, my lord.
I have objections.
We live to fight another day. By the skin of our teeth. I'm gonna see your ass in courtroom, Mr. Jikoku.